So we're going to be going over the inverse of a function. So for this example, we're going to use the function f of x equals 6x plus 7. Basically, if you have f of x, g of x, anything of a variable in a function, you can just call it y. Now, to find the inverse of that function, you first have to swap out. You have to swap the x and the y. As you can see here, the y and there's the y, there's the x, and now that's an x and that is a y, as you can tell. Then you basically solve for x. You minus 7, remember I'll go to get y by itself. You minus 7 on both sides, it's basically an algebraic equation. And you have x minus 7 equals 6y, then you have to divide by 6, and you get y equals x minus 7 over 6, which the official way to write it is transform this y into this f with a -1 exponent. That means it's the inverse of the equation, or the inverse of the function, I mean. So, why did we solve this? What was the purpose? Well, it's like square root and squared. You want to be able to travel to your destination and get back. If you start all, let's say you have 6 squared and you get 36. You need to know how to actually get back to the number that you squared in the beginning, which is 6. That's why there's square root. So this is basically what that boils down to. So here's the original and the inverse. Now we're going to check our answer. So what happened here? Okay. So basically, we plug the original number in, which we're going to plug 2 into the original equation. So 6 times 2 equals 12. 12 plus 7 equals 19. So f of 2 equals 19. Now, let's say we have the inverse function, and we want to get back to what the original number was plugged into the original function. So what we do is we basically plug in the answer on the original function on the inverse function. So f -1 of 19, which means just plug in 19 for the x. That gives you 2, because 19 minus 7 equals 12. 12 divided by 6 equals 2. So there's a formula here that the variables might be a little different, but it basically means the same thing. F of A equals B, and then the f of -1 of B equals A. As long as, and what that basically means is this number and this number needs to be the same, and this number needs to be the same. If they're not, then the inverse equation that you came up with is wrong. Let's say somehow I got 20. Well, we know 13 divided by 6 is close to 2, but it isn't 2. And once we compare it to the original, it wouldn't line up. So then it would be false. But this is a true example on how it works. And thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a request for a topic? Comment the topic on this video. This slideshow is made with Microsoft PowerPoint.